What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a treat. We have my boy Gabe on the call to give us a breakdown of his experience with an agency. You get to learn about his agency, what he's doing. He's crushing it down in Arizona. What's up, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
You surviving, thriving, grinding, grooving?
Yeah, although it's still like 100 degrees out and it's October, but
Yikes.
we're making it work.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's not a bad problem to have, though. I'd rather have that than Seattle cold. So
Feel that.
well, cool, man. Well, why don't you just quickly intro yourself, what you do, where you're from, what kind of agency you run, all that good stuff.
So I'm Gabe, aka One Take Gabe on Instagram. And so we run a real estate media agency down in Phoenix, Arizona, basically specializing in social media content, social media management, and like property tour videos, pretty much everything for the real estate industry.
So, how long have you been doing it?
Officially about 2 years, but uh,
Dang,
about 4 years, like unofficially.
sick, sick. Well, cool, man. Well, we've known each other for a bit now. You've been in the program for a bit. I guess from the jump, like, why don't we just start from the beginning? Like, what maybe prompted you to join Agency U, to like trust us with your time, with your finances? Both are like a sizable investment for anybody. So, just kind of curious to hear where you were at and what your intentions were going into Agency U.
Yeah, in the beginning, I was kind of at that stage where I was looking for a coach. I had experience with, other coaching programs, and I guess my experience wasn't the best. I mean, they were good, but I don't think it was leading us to the direction that we wanted to go. And so, at the time, I think it was 2022 sometime, where we found out about Agency U. And that's when I was just like, we got on a call. And one thing that, you did, that's different from everybody else was just like, you made us feel really comfortable. And it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about, you weren't going for a hard sale per se. It was just more like, look, man, I could help you, if you want it, cool. If you don't, whatever, and prior to that, like I saw an ad and then I started following you and, just kind of taking in some of the content that you're putting out there. So yeah, we got really comfortable. And then, yeah, we joined Agency U for the first time. And that was really exciting because it was something different. My business partner, she at first wasn't,
Had to
totally
convince her.
sold on it. But yeah. And, she got on the phone with you and then, she felt really comfortable as well. And so we decided to make the jump for it. And it was definitely a time, like a pivotal time within our business because we were growing and we didn't really have our systems in place.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking for somebody to kind of guide us, through that whole thing about just getting way more efficient and, having systems that work for you, rather than just like everything's just
Rambling.
nonchalant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Running around, get a deal you figured out along the way.
exactly.
Yeah. Cool, man. So it sounds like you came in with the idea, okay, how do I systemize my business a little bit? How do I get some stuff off my plate? Feeling busy, feeling overwhelmed quite a bit. And then, okay, so now you talk to a really charming guy on a call and convinces you to join Agency, of course, and your expectations obviously were really high. What's been sort of like the outcome for you from the immediate goal, the first round, because you have now been in twice, like the first round of the systems and all that stuff. Like what have you seen in your business?
Well, so yeah, so like initially we had, our CRM was just a scramble. Like it was just all over the place because we are using like different softwares and different websites for, a bunch of different things. And it just, you had to track down information and it just got, it was a pain. And when you introduced us to Notion, that's when a lot of things changed for us, because we were able to keep, all our contacts basically in one place, all our like SOPs in one place, just everything. So everything now, we have like a couple other, softwares, of course, but everything from those softwares basically feeds into Notion. And so like if we want to find something, we could just go into Notion. And I know you helped Audrey a lot just setting that whole thing up and just figuring out how exactly it works, because it was a process. But now we really see like that was a good move,
Totally.
versus like just everything just jumbled up, in the air. So yeah, I think the first round was just like organization, like
Yeah.
just get everything organized, and then just figuring out uh how to build the systems out with
Yeah.
everything that we do.
Yeah. And it's cool to see, like, I mean, we've been on so many one-on-ones and like you guys have shared your screen. It's like cool that you have something built out and it's like legit and like systematized and like you guys are following the process, which is very hard to transition to doing that. What do you think that has done for your business, like just by systematizing, whether it's like, hey, I saved a bunch of time, headache, client experience, all the
Oh
above?
yeah. Definitely a bunch of time, a lot of time, especially like with automations, and back and forth conversations with like, with clients is a headache. But if you could direct them to basically a system where everything just kind of automated, it
Yeah.
it makes a lot more sense. And you're not having to go back and forth, especially with like expectations, for like some of the shoots and stuff like that. It's like, all right, boom, they book a shoot, and then automatically like the prep form goes out, just things like that,
Yeah.
thank you emails, and just like the little things that you wouldn't think of,
That linger
that
in
whole
your head.
automation and building that system. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sick. Okay. And then so so initially it was like, okay, cool, I need systems, kind of tapping into the short form offer. And then what we really did was like the second round, because you came through twice, which is awesome. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm somewhat dialed on the systems and want to like test out the short form offer. Can you talk about like the journey of transitioning from like the doing a lot of like listings and doing a little bit of short form video to transitioning from like full on just listings mostly to short form retainers, and kind of like our journey in building that and what it's done for you?
Yeah. So initially we were kind of just like, we had a few clients that were, on retainer, but like that whole process was tough just because we didn't understand, like how to systematize everything for fulfillment. And when we joined the second time, that's when, first of all, you showed us how to build the offer. And that's really huge, because initially we're just like, okay, cool, you get, X amount of videos a month. You could, book whenever. And we weren't getting on like strategy calls like that. And
Yeah.
it was just kind of all over. And then, really honing in on the whole process. I think you call it sprint.
Mm,
So that's really helped, because once we get on the discovery calls, we took your template, and that's what we go through. And so
mhm.
it's just such an easier process, because the clients look at us like we know exactly what we're doing,
Yeah.
and it's super organized, and the expectations are set from the beginning, and then you just have to follow them. And so first building that offer, getting the fulfillment dialed in, and then showing us how to like present the offer within, the calls, and doing the strategy calls effectively, and then obviously getting more clients with, warm outreach, cold outreach. And that was huge, because we tried the cold outreach, and we're still going into that. But once we had like the whole system and I could hit up like people we've already worked with, it was so much easier to sell them.
Totally.
Because they could, they could trust us, but they learned that, geez, these guys they leveled up a little bit,
Totally.
and it totally shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like your first like round of warm outreach, you had what, like 7 calls booked? Like we did it together
And
on the call and it was like, holy crap, I'm overwhelmed.
yeah, exactly. It was wild. It was exciting and nerve-wracking, but
Yeah.
like getting through that was just,
Yeah. It's always the
it
first
made,
time going through it, especially like going through the offer and stuff like that. Um,
yeah,
and you have clients, so you've sold a couple of the retainers.
yes, we have.
And
We
then
sold a few.
more to come. We just gotta hire somebody to help you out here soon. What about like the transition from like there's a lot of real estate agencies out there, real estate media agencies out there who like feel maybe a little bit stuck doing like the house tours and like photos, and they kind of were in the situation that you were in, where it was like, I have a couple retainers and I can service them a little bit. What would you say to those like real estate media agencies if they want to transition more towards like the recurring revenue and stuff like that?
Definitely looking to getting a coach. Obviously I'd highly recommend agency you, but in the real estate space, it's business is dictated by the market. And so if you're doing listings, like your agent or your clients have to have listings. And so if it's a slow market, you're not getting listings, it gets kind of tough. And, we've been there. And so transitioning from like, all right, just doing one-off projects all the time to having a retainer, a few retainer clients where you're making money every month for at least the next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever the contract is, like that's going to level you out, and then of course you're still going to have some of those, one-off projects or listings coming in here and there, especially when the market is hot. But I think this year, what we've seen, like the last, like 3 months we've been with you, like we've, the retainers was like, we were like, I want to say like 6 or 7 grand. Like we're now at like 13 grand in retainers
Yeah,
for the rest of the year, and that, I mean, that's amazing because then we still have listings and you just build up upon that, but we don't have to worry about, dang, like the market is slow.
for
What are
sure.
we going to do?
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. If you're a real estate media agency or, video, or like, that's definitely something I
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems
you
like it's like,
froze.
yeah, you froze. You froze. I think what you said was definitely recommend building out offer and considering doing the retainer packages.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like the offer is, that is the key.
Yeah.
When you taught us how to like really like hone in on the offer, that was like the biggest thing, because now you could create, you know, packages that other people they don't have, and it just
Totally.
adds tremendous value where, other people are just like, oh yeah, I'll give you a video. It's like, no, we'll give you videos and we'll run your social media and we'll do, X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
shoot, whatever, and do it every month.
Yeah. So now that you like are secure with like the retainer stuff, like you have the listings dialed in, like you're probably pretty close to capacity, it feels like what's the next step for you? Like what's the next 6 months to a year look like for one take, given now that like, okay, we can do listings, we can do the retainers, like I feel really confident in all of these. Like what do you feel like the next push is for you to continue to grow and hit those 50, 100K months?
Delegation. So, we've been interviewing videographers. I'm training a photographer right now, and so just trying to delegate a lot of the fulfillment is going to be super key to growing to that, 50K, 100K a month. And I think that's one of the hardest parts, but we couldn't be here without like getting the systems down, getting the offer down, having everything just kind of organized in our business so that we could look ahead and be like, all right, cool. We got to this point. How do we get to this point?
Yeah. You feel like you have like the roadmap to get there, the vision to get there, the offer that can help get there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So build the team, get some creatives underway. That's good, man. I'm super proud of you. You're crushing it. You're just getting going too.
Trying. Couldn't do it without.
You're just getting going too, which I'm pumped about. Cool. We'll just end on this. Like, what would you say to like an agency or maybe like a real estate media agency, like watching this, just about agency you in general? Like if it was just like them reaching out to you saying, hey, like, should I do this? Or hey, like, what do you think if I'm trying to achieve something similar to what you've been able to achieve?
Yeah, so what I would say is definitely look into Agency U. And one of the biggest reasons that we joined was, I've been on a lot of discovery calls with coaches. And one of the things that I noticed, which it makes sense or whatever in your business, but a lot of coaches will, they'll be on social media, whatever a VA or whoever might be messaging you. And then when you get on that call, it's somebody completely different, and you felt like you kind of got to know them on social media and built a little bit rapport, but then somebody else shows up and it kind of throws you off. And I just want to say, like, the first time we met Austin, like, he was on the discovery call. He was very personable. He was the one messaging me on Instagram. So like everything that he puts out there is what you can expect. And that made us feel really comfortable with what he was delivering to us. And it's a ton of value. It's definitely a ton of value. So if you're on the fence, dude, you can't grow unless you get uncomfortable. And, it might be a little bit of money, but, you can't you can't make money without spending money. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody heard that. So
Yeah. And you've made plenty to make up for it, I think. And
oh
you're just
yeah, we
the skill set too, just for like long term, at least what I think about. It's like, what's the ROI on what I'm about to learn? And it's like
bro.
in like the notion and like shoot, like everything, not to like toot my own horn, but it's like copy and paste almost.
Dude, he like Agency U gives you, what do you guys do? Like, I don't know, a few million. So like they give you that blueprint. Literally, you could hop on Notion and take whatever they have, like systems for like SOPs for videographers, how to hire a videographer, VAs, how to hire a VA and how to like train them. Like everything is in there. And it might seem like a lot, but you always have a reference to kind of just plug and play. And that is really huge. Like not a lot of people do that. I haven't seen anyway, but
Yeah.
it's just you get to really look inside what a 7-figure company is doing, and you could implement that within your own systems.
Yeah. It's because a lot of the coaches haven't done it, Gabe. That's the problem. That's what we're trying to help out with. So, all right, man. Well, I think we've taken enough of your time. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the good things that you've said. Um, and yeah, pump for the future for you.
I appreciate it, bro. Always.
All right.